Hello artist! I'm here at Waller Park. You guys might recognize this location with one of our local Orcutt artists, and this is Katy Smith. She's here to tell us a little bit about what art has looked like to her over the years. She's going to share one of her favorite mediums, which is watercolor, and talk a little bit about plein air painting. She's going to define that for us and tell us what it means, but I'll give you a hint. We're outdoors right now, so it might have something to do with that.
Plein air is a French term that means outdoors. So if you're painting outdoors, you're painting en plein air is how they would say it. You're painting outside. So that's all it means, really, is just that you're outside. For most people, that means that they're painting what they see in front of them. So if somebody is a plein air painter, it means that they're going out on location and they're painting what is there at that location. And most plein air painters stay pretty true to the environment. They might move a tree around or make things a little closer together than what they are, but for the most part, they're painting what they see. I always liked art as a kid. I liked to draw and I liked to paint. I wouldn't say I was exceptionally great at it. I was actually not very good, but I had fun doing it, and so I loved it because it was enjoyable. In third grade, I was in a classroom where the teacher enjoyed art, and she had all of us spend about an hour and a half doing an art project of our own choosing. She just put the supplies out there, and the whole point was that she was going to pick whatever student's artwork that she felt was ready to go to the next level, she was going to put it in an art show. So there was a little bit of pressure of creating the perfect piece, because maybe she'd pick it and it would get to go on into this art show. And I remember I had this great plan. I was going to do this like jigsaw puzzle kind of a look, and then go in and watercolor each different shape a different color. And partway through it, I dropped a puddle of paint right in the middle of my paper, and I ruined it. It was so bad because that's not what I wanted. And I don't know why, but when the paint hit the paper, I blew on it, like thinking that was going to fix it, and it didn't fix it. It spread it out. And now I had this puddle that was fanned out across my whole page. And she'd already told us we weren't going to get another paper. And so I was like, well, I've pretty much ruined this, but that was kind of cool what just happened with that paint. And so I dropped some more paint on there and I blew on it, and by the time I was done, I had a pretty cool painting that was not even what I had started out to do. And she actually ended up picking it and put it in the show, and I got first place for this painting that was nothing that it was supposed to be, but I had fun doing it. And I never really considered myself an artist, because I always thought an artist was somebody who could come up with something in their head, this really creative idea, and then put it down on paper and it would look like what it should look like, you know. And I couldn't do that. I was not good at that at all. And it wasn't until I was in college and I took a workshop that I learned to draw what I could see in front of me, and that was art. Being able to look at a scene and break it down into its different shapes and think about composition and what looks good design-wise, and then put it onto paper. And I could do that. And so that was the first time I realized that, oh, actually, I think I am an artist. I have what's called a plein air easel, and it's a box, essentially. It's a box that opens up, has a drawer, the top opens. This style of easel is often used for oil painting. I'm a watercolor artist, and so I've actually taken the support off of the front of it that would normally hold a canvas. I've just removed it so that I have a flat surface. to be able to set my watercolor paints and my water on, and to be able to put my paper down flat, because with watercolor, if you have it up like you would for oil painting, you're just going to get runs down your page. And so I've just taken that part off that I don't need, and I use it like this as a little table. But it folds up into a box, and I can carry it on my shoulder with the handle here. This is my tiny little travel set that goes with me. Like if I'm going to Disneyland and I want to bring some art stuff with me, this is what I throw in my bag and take to Disneyland, or keep it in my purse. When I'm at home, and if I'm doing a full painting, I'll bring my full ceramic watercolor palette, but this one's fun for travel, just keep in my purse. And you can see that there's a bunch of different colors in there. I've squeezed some paint out of a tube into little sections. It's actually a mint tin that I have glued some dentine ice packaging from gum in there to make my little spots that I can put my paint in to keep them separate. And then I have a dish here with just a little bit of water in it. You don't want to use a lot of water with watercolors because it dilutes your paints too much, and they dry lighter than when you put them on anyway. So you don't want a whole lot of water, but you do need water, because the paint will only go where there is water. And watercolor, more than any medium, you have to be willing to just work with the changes that come along, because you can't go in and cover it up like you can with acrylics or oils, because it's a transparent color. That's kind of the fun of watercolor, is that it has a mind of its own. Watercolor artists, actually really any painters, are going to tell you that what matters the most is not finished paintings and not how perfect they are, but how many hours you spend with a brush in your hand painting. So it's brush hours or brush miles that matters the most. Don't be afraid to mess up. So the mess ups sometimes are the thing that push you into learning something new, or trying a new technique, because you can't do it the way you thought that you could. And so you're going to try it differently, and you're going to use your brain and problem solve and figure out, for example, if you got a drop of water on your page, what could you do with that drop of water to not have it be a mistake, but to have it be a happy accident, as Bob Ross would say. Bob Ross was a painter that was well known because he had a TV program, and he would always call them happy accidents. And I think he had something, there was something there, he understood it.